Welcome to the Wally Show Aftercast. The stuff we did not get to
shout out
during the course of the day today.
I want to give out a shout out to Gavin.
I think you should.
For what?
Because he is a gentleman and a scholar.
Why?
I was trying to get a bunch of stuff done before the Aftercast, and I was like, I'll be ready in just a minute. I need to do this, and then I need to make a cup of tea. And he was like, do you want me to get it for you?
Oh, that's
and
nice
he
of him.
did. And he even gets the extra ice, and he gets me the napkin so that when the solo cup sweats,
It's nice.
he's just super thoughtful.
You have us all trained so well. We know the level of ice that's expected.
Yeah.
The napkin is expected.
We know what's going to happen if it's not there.
Yeah.
That's what motivates us. That's our fear.
It's actually fear.
Yeah, it's our fear point.
Yeah, that's all.
My wife had asked me, she said, well, what was everybody going to do on the weekend? You know, I tell you that she always asks me this every Friday. And I'm like, I don't know, because we did not do an Aftercast on Friday. And so
But
so
we
don't
talked
know.
about it like person to person.
Yeah, but it wasn't on the show, so I don't know.
Wow, that says so much.
It's outside of his reality.
Well, I knew Gavin was just going to be buried with baby stuff. Like, that was it. And Betty Lou, I'm trying to remember what you told me you were going to do. Did you, hold on.
No.
Let me think.
I'm going to let you think.
I know, let me think. Did you,
It's taking you this long.
you had a lunch with a friend?
Did I?
I don't know.
We even talked about it this morning.
I know we did.
Wow.
And I've even forgotten
I
that.
think your cold medicine is catching
I
it
think it
on
is.
you.
I can't shake this thing, man. Like, I've had something for like 2 weeks now.
Coughing, gagging,
Yeah.
sneezing,
And
snot.
I don't feel bad. Like, I feel fine, but I'm slightly agitated. But like, just I
But
can't.
that's a Monday.
Yeah, exactly. What's that? I don't even know what that is. I have to go to the doctor today.
Are
And
you going for this?
No.
Okay.
No.
I was like, you wimp.
No, I didn't.
Oh
Thanks.
my gosh, you're the reason, Gavin, that he doesn't go to the doctor.
I just have it's my
terrible.
yearly, and so I'm gonna go. Yeah, where I get all the numbers and give blood, and then they're like, "Oh, hey."
And you always seem to come out with them being like, I don't
Yeah,
know.
don't know how you're alive, but you're doing great. Your wife, on the other hand, we're concerned.
Yeah,
and she does everything right. You know.
But back to the problem at hand.
Yeah.
What did I do this weekend?
Give me a hint, because I know I'll remember it once I get a hint.
Meow.
Okay, hang on a second.
What did I mean? You just hung out with
Hang on.
cats?
No, we talked to your cat.
I'll give you another hint.
No, because I asked you
Orange.
about. I asked
Or
you.
as I like to say, orange.
Well,
Did
I
you get
asked
another
you.
cat?
No. Okay, here's what happened. I asked you about your prayer room,
I did
your
see
war
that.
room.
That was
I did
It's
it.
not.
What?
It's like a. And I see
Do you
war
not
room as
want
something way more
Do you
serious.
not want it to be? A
No,
prayer room?
it's helping my dysfunctional brain that can't
Sure.
seem to think straight when it comes to prayer.
And I'm not even making fun of you on this, because I think that you're trying to take steps in your prayer
Yeah,
life.
I'm
I think
trying
it's
to-
great. I'm not making fun
I'm
of you at all.
trying to take it more.
Yeah.
What's the word? Like, make it
Seriously,
more of a.
or
Make it more
priority.
of a priority.
Yeah.
Which is not what you're doing with my life.
No, but I can't remember everything about your life. But you did go to your friend's house and see her new cat, her daughter's new cat.
Yes, I
And-
did.
Yes, I do remember that. Yeah.
So I went on Friday. A friend of mine, her little girl, she's 6 years old. She comes over to take care of my boys when I'm out of
Evelyn?
town. Mm-hmm.
There you go. It's
And-
all coming back to me now.
And she got a new kitten. She's been wanting a kitten for forever, and they finally got one. Her name is Everest Lavender.
I love that name, by the way.
But she is the most chill kitten I've ever seen, to the point where me and my friend were like, I wonder if she's sick. Is something wrong with her?
Yeah.
Because the kids can be like running somersaults, doing jumping jacks around this cat, and the cat just sits there and like is bathing.
That's nice.
Doesn't care. It's
That's
just
nice.
awesome. And it's a little bitty thing. It's just precious. And then what else did I do, Wally? I even sent you a picture about it, and you still can't remember.
You sent me a picture about it?
Yes, I did.
You texted me one?
And you never responded, but that's okay.
When
Your
did
wife did, but
because I knew she would respond. Because I
yeah,
had already
you
had.
can't even remember what it is.
I can't, but I remember because it went to Wally's babysitters. Yeah, the pots. Because I had already had this conversation with you. Because Betty Rock did what I am unable to do and incapable of doing.
Mm-hmm.
She found something on Marketplace that she wanted. She exchanged money for the goods and brought them home, all in the space of like one day.
And I'll even one up that. I made 2 sales over the weekend, too. So someone approached me, asked me if an item I was selling was still up for sale.
Yeah.
I said yes, and they said, when can I come?
It sounds so simple.
I told them they either Venmo'd me the money or they left the cash under the mat.
It sounds so simple.
It is.
It should be. I deal with the craziest people, and then I
it's
always
you.
end up dealing with people that aren't like right around my house. Like they're always like 30 minutes away, and like dadgummit. So that compounds the error. But yeah, so you got your pots that you like.
and
My
they're
wife even
super
asked me.
cute.
She said
I need to post them on my stories.
they are
so
cute.
the
She said,
potties
"Is she
can
going to
see.
use these, or is she just
yeah.
for decoration?"
No, I'm going to use them. I'm going to cook with them for
Okay.
sure. But
Yeah.
they are so cute.
Yeah, it's right up your alley.
Mid-century modern.
Well, I don't
And
know about that.
I talked her down from the price. She wanted $35 for both, and I got her down to $20.
Okay, well there you go. See, you had a great thing. I still have a bunch of things on my Amazon, or not my Amazon, but my Facebook Marketplace favorites, and I haven't gotten any of them.
Why do you do that? I mean, I get it to some degree. It is fun to save things on Facebook Marketplace, be like some things that you're interested in. It's kind of like window shopping.
Yeah,
But at some point,
I've been hurt.
you...
That's why.
It's hard.
I know.
We also noticed last week that if you looked at Betty's saved items and our saved items,
Yeah.
we have
drastically different.
3-figure,
Yeah.
4-figure price tag things
Yeah.
because we want the cool big stuff.
Yeah.
And Betty, you really do like zero in on the
A
knickknacks,
puzzle.
Yeah.
the cute stuff that you're like, this is just adorable. Probably more so what Facebook Marketplace was intended for.
Maybe that's
Yeah,
why
like a
it's
yard
easier
sale.
because you're
Yeah.
not dealing with bigger items.
And I've said that before. I think when it comes to bigger items, people are scared to pull the trigger on
Right.
those things because they can always pull out. It's kind of like online dating.
Yeah.
They can ghost you at any point, and you've been ghosted. So
Oh,
now
yeah.
you know what it's like, how it feels to be ghosted.
Like I have a $94,000 Sprinter van on my
awesome.
favorites.
No, you do
I
not.
do. Yeah, I got 3 of them.
What do you need a Sprinter van?
Oh,
I don't
yeah.
know. I just wanted one. No, I have this thing I want to do, like as a ministry thing, and so I started doing my research, and I found one in Nashville.
So
the other
you
2
gonna
are in.
do
No, not yet.
Why?
Because I need someone with $94,000. So, so yeah.
So, Gavin, do you have the same issue? Do you just not buy?
Well, yeah, most of the things are dream. I have a lot
okay.
of really like big golf clubs that I want to
Oh,
get,
I
but
see.
they're all things that I can't make priority number 1 or 2 or 3 or 4
Oh,
or 5 or 6.
Dadgummit.
Oh, the Sprinter van's gone.
The other one, the 2017 Mercedes Sprinter van sold, and then I had my eye. I've been wanting a planer, a jointer planer, and they always come up. And
How much
this,
would that have been?
This one's only $200.
I don't even know what a jointer planer is, but I know that
Flattens
I've heard
wood.
it. I've heard it 1,000
Yeah.
times coming from
It's
your
that.
face.
And I found
Just
one.
Buy
It
it.
was just listed, so I figured I would get to it today.
$200.
Yeah, I figured I would get it today.
It's a great label
Yeah.
on it.
Oh, I know.
Craftsman?
It's Porter Cable,
Oh.
and it was in Murfreesboro. So actually, everything
it.
lined up.
Do it.
But I took your advice, Rock. You said don't do anything on the weekends. That's what's frustrating you.
Oh,
Wait till
today,
Monday.
not the weekend.
Because
Why did I say that?
Because people don't get back to me,
Yeah,
and it
that was your
frustrates me.
advice.
Yeah, you remember. And so I'm like, I will wait till Monday. You host me.
Don't put
Yes,
this on
that
me.
thing
you
is
did
sold?
this to me.
It's
It's
not
sold
my fault.
already. Yeah.
Oh,
So that's
please.
sold.
You wouldn't have bought it anyway.
Keep looking
You
for
know
it.
what though? While we're talking about this, Gavin, you were saying, I buy the cute little knick-knack things. So recently, I thought I had a squirrel that was stuck in my wall
Oh,
and moving
did you
to my
not?
ceiling. So pest control guy comes out and he's like, okay, I'm gonna need to crawl under the crawl space and see what I find. Okay, so he does. He thinks that he's found a mouse. Thank God I have not seen a mouse. But
Those
anyways,
things stink.
yeah, he calls his boss and he's like, okay, I think we're going to have to do something because I've found like where mice have been or whatever. And his boss goes, oh, is the place that you went to go check on, does she live like in a dump or
Yeah,
something?
is she nasty?
And he said verbatim, no, she has one of the nicest, cleanest, cutest units I've ever seen.
For something that looks like it was created in the 70s.
And this is a guy guy that was probably 28, 29, definitely a smoker because
Yeah.
I could smell it on him.
Yeah.
But also had like a rat's tail type,
Oh,
This guy
but in a
sounds-
bun type thing.
How did
Okay.
he walk out of there
Sounds
unmarried?
perfect.
No,
Yeah.
way too young for me.
Miss Rat
Okay,
tail
that's the
over
only
here.
thing was the age. The
and
only
the
thing.
smoking.
Yeah.
And the smoking.
How'd you know his age? Because that's my
No,
age.
that's what I'm guessing. That's what I'm guessing. I don't really know. But anyways, all that to say, coming from him, that was a huge compliment
Yeah.
that he would even notice.
Yeah, you keep a clean house, even with
Thank you.
multiple cats.
Which is not easy to do.
It's two.
Multiple. That is two.
When you
It's
say multiple,
Yeah, you-
makes me sound crazy.
even with a house full of cats.
Stop it! It's two.
Does
Oh.
they have like their hair? How bad does cat hair get for both of you with
It's
cats
rough.
and multiple cats in
I'll
the
tell
past?
you what, Gavin.
It seems to be on Betty more than
Thank
me.
you.
Mm.
I think
No,
so.
no, no, 'cause
Thank you for asking, Gavin.
Well, no, I just say it 'cause
here's the issue.
the dog
here's
hair
the
is a
issue. Let me
problem.
tell you the issue, Wally. The
Yeah.
issue is that Sasha, your cat,
Yeah.
is a darker haired cat.
Yes.
Boo Boo Bear
Yeah.
is light.
Yeah.
They call it a fawn
Who's
type
Boo Boo?
color.
Which one's
That's Buford Beans.
Buford
My
beans.
bad.
Okay, Boo Boo Beans, my little butter bean. Okay, he's got light hair and it's like a spider web.
Yeah.
I think if you put it under a microscope, it would look like a mascara
Tentacles.
brush.
Oh yeah.
Like it sticks to everything. Just yesterday, I sat down and I brushed both of them. And for Rayford, it's not a big deal. He just lays there and takes it. But Buford Beans, he acts like I need to call Sarah McLachlan right then and there that I am actually actively hurting him. It's terrible. I mean, constantly lint rolling, constant vacuum, constant.
She lint rolls
brushing.
at work and
You
at
do.
home.
Yeah, I
she's a
do.
lint roller.
It
Because I
drives me
because I
crazy.
had two cats. I just have the one now. But she, when you pet her, it's like just
Ugh.
hair goes everywhere. It's
Drives me
crazy.
crazy.
Yeah.
But if I had a porch like y'all, you have that screened-in porch in the back.
Yeah.
That's what I used to have, and I would take Buford out there, and I would just
Comb
and
him.
it was great.
Yeah, I should do that because now Sasha will actually go out on the back porch. Now she was scared of it for a long time, and now she meows to go out. So that's good.
Poor
And she likes the garage for some reason. She'll walk out in the garage. She would walk out in the garage before she went on the back
Maybe
porch.
she's having hot flashes.
I have
and she
no
needs
idea.
to go outside.
Yeah,
Or something.
she is old. So not that my wife's old. No,
Wait, who
You're
said
talking
that?
about your
Hot flashes.
cat. Oh. But,
Anyway,
All right, so let's get into some of these things. Good news: Starbucks announced that starting on the 7th, if you like their beverages that include like soy milk, oat milk, almond milk, coconut milk, all those things that aren't milk, and you used to have to pay a lot of extra money for them, they are not going to charge you any more than regular milk.
it was tender tummy tax,
Yes, pretty much.
and I think it was unfair. So
Yeah.
I'm glad that they are now not taxing the tender tummiers.
Like what they were charging you was a lot. Like I get it if this milk, say like buying almond milk, costs you more, then you have the right to charge more for that as opposed to milk. But what the rate they were charging for it was not congruent with what it cost
like I
them
was
to get that
adding
milk.
like guac to my drink is how it feels.
Yeah, it's like, oh, here's an extra $1 for this. I'm like, that did not cost you an extra $1. And so that was wrong. So they actually made that bit. But they're kind of doing it like they love you and they're rebranding and everything. But it's because they got sued. They got sued by
a tender tummier?
for violating Americans with Disabilities Act.
Yes!
By
Tender
charging
tummiers
companies.
unite!
I know. Starbucks said, no, we just did this to be good to our customers.
Sure you
okay,
did.
sure. And they actually deleted all these other things that they had, these other programs for giving you discounts. So not so much concerned about their customer like they want you to think. But anyway, if you have a tender tummy or that stuff gets you, you will be just like the rest of us and pay an over exorbitant price for burned coffee, but you'll pay what we're paying. So there you go.
Congrats.
Yeah, what do you got, Rock?
Jason Kelsey, he
I'm
is in the
excited
news
for this.
because he wasn't in the game. He was just watching. But Penn State versus Ohio State. I guess he used to go to Penn State. No.
He just loves football.
He went to Cincinnati. Yeah. I don't know why. He was just at the game, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, anyways, so he's leaving, and there's some fan that's out there, and he yells at Jason Kelsey. Now, keep in mind, Jason Kelsey is not the one that's dating Taylor
That's
Swift.
Travis.
He is the older brother of Travis
He's married,
Kelsey.
has 3
Travis
kids.
is the one that's dating
Yeah.
Taylor. Okay, so the T's and the T's stay together. Okay,
What?
so
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So Jason is leaving. Some fan is standing out there and that goes, Jason, your brother, and then calls him a slur.
Yeah.
And it's really bad. Okay. I would have pulled the audio, but I can't.
You can't because
Well,
he's
anyway,
for dating
pretty
Taylor
bad.
Swift. Yeah.
It's
So he
bad.
was trying to demean him as much
Yeah.
as he could, like guys do.
Like taking
Yeah.
a shot at
So
his
then-
brother.
Yeah.
Right.
Not
so
at
then
him.
Jason proceeds to grab the phone from the man that said the slur.
Yeah.
Throws it on the floor,
Love this.
smashes it up.
Love
and,
it.
But he could have just ended there because he took up for his brother.
Right.
That's great. But instead, the guy's like, "Oh, can I have my phone back?" He hands the guy his phone back after it's been smashed, and then calls him the same slur
Yeah.
that this guy used on his brother.
That's where you went too far. Like you had it with you when you broke the phone. You're like,
Yeah.
good, you nailed that.
Yep.
That crime, the punishment fit that crime, 100%. But then when you use the same slur back, you're like, well, now you just undid all of that, and
Yeah.
you're just on that same level, which kind of stinks.
I mean, to you two, because to me this seems very over dramatized. Like I don't even see women get thrown words all the time,
Sure.
named whatever, but you just keep walking.
Right.
Okay, but to you as men, use that term lightly.
Yeah.
Does this seem like an overreaction to
Not
you?
at all.
No.
No.
Okay.
No, 100%. Because he's the guy. Here's the deal. It's some like idiot YouTuber that's trying to make his name off of you by getting a reaction out of you and like trying to say something inflammatory and then be like, ha, 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 look, I'm funny on the internet, you know? And so when you have these weak kids that couldn't hold their own in a fight if they had to, like, and they just hide behind the anonymity of the internet, or then when they have an altercation with someone, they're like, oh, why would you get so mad? I'm just joking, bro. You know, and so when they meet an actual man who can actually defend what he believes, then that doesn't end well. The kid's lucky he didn't get punched. The kid's lucky he just had a phone broken, honestly. And so Jason breaks his phone. That's funny.
Yeah, but
like,
I
good
would
for
think
you.
that this type of thing happens all the time where fans are
Sure.
yelling at you. So why did Jason
Hit him
think-
wrong thing, wrong day. You know, like maybe if it had been a different day, maybe he just blows it off. But it hit him wrong, and he had every right to like grab that kid's phone and bust it. That
What
kid has a great story now because he's like,
Right.
look, I got a phone, bust it. He can probably sell it.
Right? What if that was a female celebrity
Yeah,
and she did the same thing? Do you think that would be bad for her career?
depends on what they yelled at her. Like if somebody yelled something
Really?
if somebody yelled something really bad for her, people would rally around her. But if it felt like it didn't deserve it, then they would probably, unfortunately, vilify her because
Do you
women
think the
are not
same
allowed
is for
to.
Jason too?
Yeah, well,
Because even the slur was not towards him; it was
right,
towards his brother.
right, but he was
someone
taken up
loves.
for his brother. Yeah, but I think that I think that for women it is an unfair double standard when a woman shows emotion about something.
It's
she's
considered dramatic.
She's emotional. She's a whatever you want to call
pain.
her. Right. She's high maintenance or whatever, which isn't fair. You know, and so. But I think that, it would have gone down differently if it was a woman, depending on what was yelled at her. Because some things people will defend 100%. You know, there are certain words you can yell at a woman that people, we should never, honestly, you should never do that. But that women, everyone, men, women in general go, yep, that one's off color, that one's off limits. And so the reaction would be
Yeah.
whatever.
Gavin, thoughts?
I think that I'm interested to hear if there's ever going to be a situation where he gets like sued for that.
Jason
for like,
does?
for destruction of property, or if there will be just cause from some. Which again, it's the kind of thing that probably just gets brushed away just because he's a celebrity and
Everybody loves
the
him right
world
now.
would look
If-
at that and say he was justified.
If the guy
say
had
he's
asked for an
justified.
autograph and then he did that, then he would get sued.
He'd
but
get canceled.
because of what this guy said, then it makes it less like litigious. Like like people aren't gonna go after Jason on this. But most people are like, "Good for you, man! Like that kid was out of bounds.
Yeah.
You showed him." That you can't just push people around. You can't just do things. and claim it's a joke or whatever.
Yeah, plus it's him versus all of these Taylor Swift fans. Like, I think every Taylor Swift fan would probably
you don't want to mess
take
with
up
them.
arms against this person
Sure.
for what he said.
They're mean. Do you remember, too, it was maybe a year or two, I think it was before the Rust whole ordeal happened with Alec Baldwin.
Yeah.
But you remember when he
ago.
was at some store out in public and there was some YouTuber or something with a phone and they were asking all of these questions. It might have been about the Rust shooting.
I can't remember if it was a political or about Rust.
Yeah, I can't remember either.
I can't remember, but yeah.
The whole thing was filmed, but Alec didn't say anything back.
Yeah.
Like, he held his tongue, and he even asked for the manager of the store to usher this person out. And you even said, I remember you even saying, they're just trying to get a rise out of him. And they didn't.
Yeah.
So Alec handled it,
Yeah.
whereas Jason did not.
Jason handled it in his own way, in his burly way.
Maybe this is just me as a girl, but when I see that type of anger being shown just by someone that called you a name, that
it doesn't equate. You don't look at that
me,
and go,
I think, what is he doing behind closed doors?
Really?
That scares me.
That's interesting because, a lot of women find that. But then again, he's standing up for somebody, you know? And so, like...
Yeah, but if you can be that triggered that fast by someone's words, then you have no handle on your own emotions.
That's interesting
that's
that
scary.
as a woman is your takeaway.
Yeah.
Because you see... Because you're single, too, and so I'm sure you look at things and you think... You see someone's behavior and you go, oh, I would have liked that person, but that's a red flag for me. That's fascinating. Because to me, the only way I saw that was good. That little punk got what he deserved. Like, that's all I saw. I didn't think, oh, this guy's crazy. This guy's got anger issues. I actually was like, good for you for not punching him. Like, because you could have punched him and then that would, or just pushed him or something, and then that would have, all heck would have broken loose. You know?
I'm not saying that he shouldn't take up for his brother. I'm not saying that.
Sure.
But I'm saying, to me, what he did was too dramatic. I think to grab the guy's phone, then smash it down.
It's so good. It just brings a smile to my face.
It's got
to me,
an
it's
aesthetic
like,
to it. But
what if some, like his wife or someone accidentally did something and it didn't hit him the right way?
Yeah.
No pun intended.
Well, it's tough too because if I were to, in a perfect world, I wouldn't say, oh, you shouldn't, like, your reaction to that should be to grab that phone and throw it. You know, like Jesus would be like, oh, take that on the cheek, turn the other cheek and walk away. But that's just, it's hard to be in that reality in that heat of the moment.
Sure.
And college campus stuff gets real rowdy and kids get rowdy. So
well,
it's
he might have been, who knows what he was partaking of in the
Oh,
game.
sure. We're going to make him the evil one now?
are.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, because I think...
You blame me for your Facebook malpractice.
Yeah, he does. He does go hard. The thing about it is, it's interesting though that you infer, or the correlation is that if he's violent in this way or triggered in this way, that he's like that in his personal life. But I think that's a leap too, because you've seen me punch a monitor, when I got upset with something not working, but I've never raised a hand or my voice to my wife.
Yeah, and I'm not saying it's the truth for anyone and everyone. I'm just saying I'm aware of it.
Yeah.
And if that were me and I was dating someone that did that, I would be thinking twice.
Oh, remember when Travis Kelce did something early on when he was dating Taylor Swift?
Oh, yeah, he yelled at his coach.
Yes,
on the
and then all the Swifties are like, oh my gosh, he's probably yelling at Taylor. I know he's yelling at Taylor. I knew they weren't supposed to be together. That's what it is. You just became the Swiftie.
Yes, I am a Swiftie.
All right, we got some birthdays. I know I have one. Do you have any?
Go for it.
Okay, this is from Aubrey. Says, hey, I'd like a shout out for my little bro Silas. It's his 8th birthday. Happy birthday, Silas.
Okay.
He loves baseball. He plays shortstop. I never played shortstop. Did you play baseball?
No, I did. I played second base and the outfield.
Okay. I never played shortstop or
Those guys are
third.
cool.
Because the ball gets hit way too fast at you. And you get hit way too much in the chest and in the face. I don't like it. I played catcher. Because I beat
Where the ball is, where you protect it, I guess.
I have all the gear on.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm going to get the ball thrown at me all the time, but I got gear on. It's not a big deal.
Baseball was for me, I played 3rd and 4th grade, and to me, I ended up feeling like it wasn't my sport because I was freaked out by the ball thrown at me, because you're looking at these 3rd graders trying to throw pitches. Those guys can't throw straight.
Yeah.
I got hit by so many baseballs.
Yeah. I remember being a kid, and the kid in front of me was up to bat. I was probably in 9th or 10th grade. The kid gets beaned right in the cheekbone, and it shatters his cheekbone. And it was a mess, man. Just blew this kid's face up. And so the same kid is still pitching. I'm up next. I'm at the edge of the batter's box with my heels on there. This kid is throwing balls in there. I don't even care where they're going. I literally swung like 3 times, like so fast, just to get out of there because there was no way I was getting hit by that kid.
Not an intentional walk, but an intentional strikeout.
Oh, absolutely. It says also loves Corey Seager, so a baseball player. You know him, Gavin?
Yeah, he plays for the Rangers, shortstop there.
You really are good at sports.
I do
Marvel,
love it.
and he's the best brother I could ask for. We love watching movies together and playing with our dogs. Oh, named their dog Seeger, too. So there you go. Happy birthday,
dog.
Silas. What do you got, Rock?
Anna, Ava, Mom, and Dad want to wish Anderson a happy belated birthday. The belated is not because of them, it's because of us. He celebrated a birthday on Halloween, said he is a kind-hearted person, loves the outdoors. He is super good at making the family laugh and loves baseball. Happy birthday, Anderson. We've got the Clausens.
Oh, yeah.
Liz wants to wish John a happy birthday. Said John is a great husband, dad, and grandfather. He is smart and humorous. John loves Way FM and The Wally Show. Lauren.
John's a good dude.
Lauren must be their daughter or friend or somebody. She also wants to wish John Clausen a happy birthday. He celebrated on the 1st. They are a very productive vegetable grower and small livestock caregiver. Witty and clever in a sassy undertone. Caring and loving father and grandfather.
And some of the only Canadians I like.
True. This is crazy. So Liz said this. She said, is it true that Canadians actually eat beaver tails? Yes.
Yes.
It's a delicious winter treat.
It's fatty.
A fried donut, which is shaped like a beaver tail and covered in sweet toppings like cinnamon, sugar, and chocolate.
Oh, so that's a pastry, is a beaver tail.
So
is
it's
a
not
pastry.
an actual beaver tail.
Because you can eat beaver tail.
You can?
Yeah, it's real fatty. And so, I've seen
You eaten it?
No. I've seen on survival shows where they, killed this beaver to survive. And, the tail, give them extra fat.
And then finally, Emily. She celebrated a birthday on the 2nd.
Yay!
Happy belated birthday. Emily said she's a devoted potty listener and longtime fan since back in the Zach and Becca days.
Woo! That's back there.
She said, I have a request. Last year, Wally, you wished me a happy birthday in your Betty's Mama impersonation. I was hoping for a birthday shout out this year from your doing your best Marty impression.
Oh, Marty. I thought she was going to go with, Danny Ray.
too.
No.
I thought it was a Danny Ray. So, give me the
your
name again.
wife,
I missed it again.
Her name is Emily.
Okay. See, this is so hard. I snap in and out of Marty voice all the time, but I have to do something to.
We have to start.
I have to do something to get me in.
babe.
You know, babe. Emily, happy birthday, Emily. It's just great that you're celebrating a birthday. How old is Emily?
I don't know.
Oh, well, happy birthday. She's a year older than last year. That's what she is there. So happy birthday.
Let's go to Disney.
Yeah, exactly.
Money, please.
It's always tough because when you do it, we're like, oh, it's funny. And then sometimes when she comes here,
Yeah.
and I hear her talk, you're like, "Dow."
It's pretty dialed in.
Especially when she goes, hey, babe.
Hey, babe.
It's so close.
She can't, and it's funny because when she's ever on the air, it's even worse, and it's it's way closer to what I do on the air, and she just can't wrap her head around that. She's
She doesn't think she sounds that way?
no. She's like, I don't sound like that. I'm like,
Wait, say it like she would.
I don't sound like that. You're just making stuff up.
She sounds like she's got
Sick.
sinus
oh, yeah, like a
issues.
sinus thing. Yeah, I've exaggerated that a little bit. Yeah, and she's also my George Stephanopoulos impression. Those two are the same.
What?
But I impersonate
The guy
George
on
Stephanopoulos
Good
from
Morning
ABC.
America.
Yeah,
yeah.
same thing.
Yeah.
Speaking of George Stephanopoulos, tomorrow is the big election. Woo,
boy.
doggy! That's gonna be something. So
they're gonna open everything.
I was gonna say,
voting polls. It's gonna start early in the morning
Yeah.
and go all throughout the day.
yeah,
But there's gonna be with the time because Eastern will close before
Sure.
Mountain
Right.
and all of that. So some states, I remember it last time being like you still had to wait till the very next
Correct.
day to hear the final count.
right. Because there are some states that hang in the balance, and then there are multiple states that change the reporting rules based on the last election, and then there are other states that haven't changed them. So like Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania is a huge battleground swing state kind of thing. And I saw an article today that was like, yeah, we might not know till Saturday. If they,
What?
yeah. So now what it comes down to,
It's
it comes
a
down to
long
the
time.
Electoral College. So I think Pennsylvania is worth about 19. I think. So let's say that they were the only state that was out. If the race wasn't within those 19 electorates,
Right.
then
Then they
they
would
could
call it.
they could declare a winner
Yeah.
regardless. But like last time, what happened? Georgia was in flux. I think South Carolina, a couple other key states were all in flux, and so they didn't call it. Plus, then if it's within a 1% margin of error, they automatically it triggers recounts. But then you can on either side can contest the results and stuff. So Trump said we'll have a winner on that night. But I think that's because he was thinking it's going to be him. And so it'll be interesting to see what both parties do. If the other person wins, will they have a graceful transition of power on both sides? It'd be fascinating if like Kamala didn't win and like it kicked into them going, no, we got to change this and we've got to make sure. So it's, again, regardless of where you land on any of this stuff politically, it's going to be interesting.
Well, let me ask this question: How do they count the votes? Like that's through a machine or through you're saying Pennsylvania could have to wait till Saturday till they know for sure. Does that mean that they have people that are going one?
Write-in votes. There is stuff that's counted by hand. There's write-in votes, and not write-in, but mail-in votes and things like that. Some states allow you to start counting the mail-in votes now to be ahead of it. Other states like Pennsylvania don't. So they can't start counting those mail-in votes until the
How
polls
do they know
close.
that there's no fraud taking place?
That is the million-dollar question, Rock. That is what has always been in play with elections.
Because we've been doing this for years.
There is always an element of fraud in every election. There's always a little bit. It comes out. There's always like, hey, dead people were voting in Chicago. Like, there's always some element of that. The problem is how much of it. Is it enough that it actually sways a thing? It should never happen. It should be, in this day and age where we have everything digital, it should be a real easy walk in, cast your vote. It's digitally counted and done. But then everyone's talking about the different voting machines were problematic. So there's so many layers to it. It's a miracle we get anybody elected,
It really
honestly.
is, because what I'm shocked by is that it doesn't matter, even if you're in counties that are side by side. Like, for instance, my parents and they went to one county and I went to a neighboring one.
Yeah.
And both of them, we were like, oh, it sounds like the same machine. But then found out, no, they actually had to take like a hole puncher or something and punch a hole through a piece of paper.
The hanging Chad.
I didn't do that.
Yeah.
Mine was all electronic. But that's shocking to me that we don't have a one
Yeah, that it's not the same across the thing.
Yeah, so that nothing can get messed up. But then it seems like you can vote this way and this way. And this way, you got to do it with, like, you got to handwrite everything.
It's like
just
going to the
crazy.
airport. How one airport you need to take your
TSA.
shoes off, and the
Yeah.
other one you don't. Yeah, it's like it's never been completely standardized, which I can't fathom either. You know, it's really interesting. I think the thing tomorrow that's going to be the biggest part of all of this is how do you react if your side is not the winner?
Mm-hmm.
And how do you react if your side is the winner?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I would say, like, if one of the sides wins and people go nuts and they're throwing it in people's faces, it's the worst thing they can do, because then you're just going to fan those flames and cause more division. If you are the losing side and you're throwing arrows at the winning side and saying that it was, whatever you're saying, like, that just continues more of the thing. This election, more so than most elections in the past, I think is going to be very telling on where we stand as a country, and what we do after it will be really, really telling. And I'm fascinated to see how this whole thing's going to shake out. I mean, obviously, if my person doesn't win, I'm going to be frustrated and I'll be upset and mad because I believe one direction for the country is the better direction, than the other choice. But what do I do? I mean, like, I can't change that. Once it's done, it's done.
Well, you did what you could do.
Yeah,
I think
exactly.
ultimately what we need to remember is that no matter what, God is in control. He's ultimately in control of both parties. And so both parties have to answer to him, whether they believe that or not. But whether we win or we lose, whichever team you're voting for, we have to ultimately believe that God is the one that's ultimately the one we have to answer to.
I think we answer to God, but I am curious about, like, does he control the outcome of the election? I don't think so.
I don't think he does.
know.
And I think it was interesting too.
People
'cause
think that, though.
I was listening to
I could see where they would.
someone's interview. I think it was like a Jordan Peterson thing where he talked. Someone was like, "Oh, can you like talk about your favorite miracle from the Bible?" And he talked about Jesus's his sentence about give unto Caesar what is Caesar's and unto God what is God's. And it just sounds like there's this world where like we are subject to the world and the government and the leaders that are in place, and that is just a reality that I think even Jesus talks about being like that is separate from your faith.
It's kind of like
I don't think he's up there. I think we're supposed to. I think our job is to be the light of Christ no matter what, not be dependent on who is in the office.
Because that's going to change. Parties change, candidates change. I mean, that you can't count on that, and it's going to be what it's going to be. That's the thing. Sin is in the world too, and you can't change that. And so you have to do your best to navigate it, because God doesn't strike all sin down. God didn't prevent horrible dictators from being in power and still in power,
I Googled Bible verses about bowing to leadership, and it brought up Romans 13:1, which says, everyone must submit himself to the governing authorities, for there is no authority except that which God has established.
Right. See, I think if
so does that mean that
I'm curious because
God
you did that.
does have a say?
Well, you did that Bible study about verses out of context.
Right.
Not out of context, but like having a separate meaning. And
Right.
I have a feeling that there was maybe something that was said back then when
a different context.
at
for
that point the verse was, or the words being spoken were spoken to people who were under an entire different country's
Correct.
rule of an area,
Yeah.
which is not exactly how we're handling today, which some people might see it that way.
Right.
So I'm curious if I'm curious what someone from like seminary might say about
Because
something like
what
that.
if you say, well, God puts every leader in control. Okay, well, you put Hitler in control. Why in the world would you do that? And so you could make that argument. But then you have free will and sin. So where does that land? And like Hitler came to power because of his sin, and he was a horrible person. I don't believe that God put Hitler in power and that people should have just followed Hitler because he was the power. He was the governing authority. Why would you not just follow with that? No, there's evil, and there's right and there's wrong. And I think that that's where a lot of times too, I've heard pastors talk about, you subject yourself to the governing body until it conflicts with the Bible. And that's where you then try to either change it or you vote a different way or what have you, because like whether they tax your gas is not a biblical issue, or the rate they tax your sales tax. It's not a biblical issue. But then you have other things that different parties are into that do completely go against the Bible. And that's where you have to say, okay, I'm not going to be part of that. And I think that's okay. And that's where you as a person vote your conscience.
And that's where I think democracy does play a role, is that you have the right to you have the, and again, I would always say that protest peacefully if you're going to do something. I definitely don't approve of hardcore stuff. No. But like you do have the right to say I don't like that and to say that out loud.
Yeah, don't pull a Jason Kelsey, okay?
Oh.
Yeah. No, I don't know. That was
it's kind of gangster.
I kind of did like his approach, honestly.
Stop it.
So
On that note,
we just came full circle. That's going to do it for the Aftercast. Thanks for being a potty.
Growing up in poverty has never been easy for children, but with the added challenges of the pandemic, conflict, and natural disasters, families around the world are facing an unprecedented food crisis. Unfortunately, those who are already hungry are now even more desperate. But by sponsoring a child through compassion, you can help provide life-sustaining essentials such as food and clean water. And with your compassionate support, that child can not only survive, but also flourish. You can find out how and choose a child to sponsor when you click on the compassion banner at wayfm.com.